Utah versus Boise State in the Las Vegas Bowl. Marco, who do you like and why?
I like Boise State, and the knee-jerk reaction, we always talk about motivation, and this is a game that's clearly a big topic for both teams. But I think even though this is a letdown game for Boise State, they're the superior team, and they will come out on top.
That's the whole point of a letdown game, is that the public doesn't value motivation enough. They look at the surrogate ratings or whatever their power rankings are and say, wow, I'm getting Boise, and it's at, what number do you see right now?
17.
All right, I'm getting Boise at a reasonable price. 17, wow. It didn't really dawn on me that. So wait, TCU went to Utah. TCU and Boise were considered equal teams at that point. Mm-hmm. And TCU was laying what? Do you remember? Was it 7? Or was it 3?
I think it would have been 3.
I think it was 3. And now, so Utah was at home, so let's give it 3 points for that. So they were saying TCU was 6 points better. And now, since then, Utah got killed in that game. Since then, Utah lost to Notre Dame. Since then, Boise lost to Nevada as a 14-point favorite. So you got to say, in general, Utah's gone down a little, Boise's gone down a little bit because of that Nevada loss, clearly. Now, you would make the point Utah's gone down a little bit more, but an 11-point swing between the effective line of 6 and that?
Well, Utah, once
they... Hey, Dustin, do it. No, that's fine. I was going to have you check something out on the line, but with you produce, that's good. No, I was saying, how confident are you that line was 3? I'm almost sure now.
I'm pretty sure it was 3.
All right, so let's assume that's right. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's a situation, though, that from that loss, Utah went on to lose 3 of their next 4 games. In 3 of their next 4, they lost 2 of them, but they were held to 7, 3, and 17 points. This Utah offense got shut down. 3 or 4 games. They're going against the highest scoring team, one of the highest scoring teams in football. That plays good defense too, Boise State.
But that's what the public's saying. I get it. But my point is, it was TCU and Boise were equal teams. Can we agree to that?
Yeah.
All right. And now you got to make the case TCU's probably a little bit better after Boise losing to Nevada.
You're putting. I know they were.
You can't lose as a 14-point favorite and not mean something. When you have they thought the national championship was on the line.
If they would have just won but not covered, would you have been okay?
I would have thought less of them. See, the line is expectation. So if they win by 14, I think they meet expectation. They win by 17, they exceed it. They win by 10, they fall short of it. When you lose as a 14-point favorite, you fall short significantly. TCU's yet to fall short in any real way in any game this year. So to me, I'm taking, well, what's your TCU Boise line on a neutral? Vegas says TCU slightly favored, so be careful.
Yeah, I'm lying. At most, I would have made it a 3-point game.
For who?
TCU.
Well, that's even more than Vegas would make.
I said at the most.
Yeah. All right. So let's say TCU is slightly better. So the effective line was 6 points in that game. Again, a 3-point home team. Take it to a neutral. You're getting 3 at home. On a neutral, you're getting 6. What has happened? Has Utah fallen that much out of favor? Clearly, in the public side, they have. As you as a capper, have you adjusted the power rankings on Utah by 11 points?
They haven't recovered from the TCU game.
What makes you say that? That's the whole point of a bowl game, is the fact that they've had a month or whatever. They got a great coach. That Notre Dame loss to me isn't, it's not a good loss, but they were less than a touchdown in that game.
They came back after the Notre Dame game. They went to San Diego State. They were getting trashed in that game. They made a miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter to squeeze that game out. Then they played their rival game against BYU, came from behind again, but were held.
So you're saying they won their last 2 games?
They won their last 2 games and come from behind fashion in both of them.
All right. So in a way, I'm asking you a question. And all you got to do is say, yeah, I've adjusted Utah by 11 points. That right now, that if Utah played, whatever line I would have made for Utah the week before the TCU game, it's 11 points different against any team. A team they'd be laying 14 against, they're laying 3 against. Them.
I agree with you 100%. You're paying a premium for Boise State.
And there's motivation issues.
See, I don't
Massive.
This
is the least motivated team, I think, in all the bowls.
If they would have been
Boise.
If they would have been least motivated, they wouldn't have hung up 50 points the game after they lost to Nevada when their national championship season went up in smoke the way they lost to Nevada.
But against a team, it's like playing a 6th grader in basketball. You don't have to, trying in a game like that doesn't mean all that much. And again, maybe you're right. Maybe this is such a well-coached team. And I mean, the fact that Boise's even in the national championship picture is a heck of a statement for that coaching staff, is maybe they can transcend motivation. But under your dream killer theory, this is trademark Marco D'Angelo, is we all know that we've seen it in history. Remember Kansas State when they lost in the Big 12 championship game, and then they went and Purdue they were like double-digit favorite, if I recall. I don't remember the exact line. Got beat by Purdue. We see it in the Holiday Bowl a lot. A lot of teams that lose that, they get killed. The players don't want to be there. Does Boise want to be here in playing in this game? I think Utah does. I think Utah's looking at redemption. I just don't see Boise being hyper-motivated. Apparently they weren't motivated against TCU last year in a BCS game, but they're going to be motivated in the Las Vegas Bowl?
Well, this team's been a freak all year, and if you go back to a lot of the tapes that me and you have done, because remember how many times they were the Friday night game?
Yeah.
And I said, the line's high, you're paying a premium for them. But they just kept covering.
Who was talking about that? I said you're right. They transcended the wise guy approach. They were just so much better. What I'm saying is I don't think they can transcend human nature, which is when you're disappointed, you don't try as hard as if you're really psyched.
I agree with you, but I just haven't seen life in Utah either. And if Utah falls behind in this game, I don't see them being able to come back. They
don't have to come back.
So
they just got to lose by 17 or less.
Okay.
I smell a bet.
You smell a bet?
Let's go head to head, Dustin. I'm taking the 17. You want for a nickel? You want it?
All right.
You don't seem too happy.
Well, it's at this point. I just want to buck you.
Okay. So I beat you in the. This is awesome. I should do this more often. All right. Any closing points? So you have a projection on this?
I have Boise.
Do you want to change it?
No, I have Boise winning 43-20. I just think
43. So give me two. How about I'll take 22 and lay 150?
No.
All right.
What a guy.
You can't change. There was a Cisco and Ebert once where actually in the middle of the thing, Ebert was making the point or whatever, and Cisco said, I'm changing it. I'm changing the thumb up to thumb down. You've yet never done that. Do you want to do it this time?
Boise State has scored 31 or more points in every ball game this year. Every ball game this year.
Utah, this is almost like there was this old movie called Crossroads. If anyone has seen this movie, please comment. It had Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid.
Oh, God.
And he was a guitar player, and he went and found a guy, an old black bluesman that sold his soul to the devil. And the whole movie was about trying to find the devil to get his soul back. And it was the old Robert Johnson myth about the guitar player selling his soul to the devil. And they had this guitar off where Ralph Macchio would go like, doo-doo-doo-doo, and then the devil would go, it's almost like the devil went down to Georgia with the thing. And it was an interesting movie. It was an interesting movie. But it's almost like you're saying, well, do you know they've scored 35 points? And I'm like, well, do you know Utah's 27-9 ATS is a dog?
Good stuff.
I mean, that's my point. This is a team that does very well. They got great coaching. So even as a 17-point dog, they're going to play, I think, hard, and they're going to game plan effectively. Go ahead. You got any other stats you want to?
No, we're just...
Guess how many of the last 8 bowl games Utah covered?
They've been in better bowls, and they've covered.
How many of the last 8 do you think Utah's covered?
Probably at least 6.
7. But that's who you're betting against here.
Okay.
But Boise's cover 7 of 9, too.
Okay.
So I'll give you that credit. All right, now it's your turn to continue the conversation. Oh, what's that? Oh, we had a coupon. All right, so this is our week 2 of the bowls.
Yes.
And we're giving a coupon each week, like we do always. Hit us, Marco.
All right, well, since this is the Las Vegas Bowl, we're going to make the coupon Vegas 10. That's the word Vegas and the number 10. You're going to get $10 off. Just enter that coupon code at the checkout. And if it happens to be a $10 pick, it's free on RJ.
What happens if it's a $9 pick?
Yeah, you lost out because,
But you still get it free.
you still get it free, but you don't get $1 back.
All right, it's your turn to continue the conversation in the comment section with Marco and me. And next up, we're going to be talking, Marco's best bet.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to bet against you on this
I
one,
hope
too.
you don't. And I got another handicapping angle for the bowls that we're going to be talking about in this one.
Navy versus San Diego State.